Thanks for staying with us. All right, so we're still discussing with Abiola Adenio on this how to manage our finances. We're trying to come back to the lower side of society, practical tips. There's somebody watching who's on a Okada rider, who's a Keke Napep rider, and he's depending on his daily income. Fuel has gone up. Somebody was telling us earlier that they have a figure. No, they don't go past the half tank. You know, I now have a figure. I don't care where the tank is. This is the figure I am buying, regardless of where it reaches. That is where it is. You know. But what kind of tips would you give people who are really earning the minimum wage and they need help?
I think for a lot of people, I mean, the truth is that a lot of people are actually at that level in Nigeria, right? The reality of daily income is so real that you only eat out of what you make, right? The thing then is, you know, how much of that can you do? How much of it can you recruit other people to do or leverage other people to do, right? Because you are limited, right? So if I'm an Okada rider, I only ride one bike, right? Is there anything else I can do if I'm riding bike? And that is all that I do. What do I have? What hobbies, for instance, do I have that I can monetize? So if I ride Okada during the week and maybe on Saturdays I go do MC somewhere or alaga somewhere or assist with event planning somewhere, I make some small money here and there. I just feel like people need to look beyond what they currently do. Because the truth is that you may have maxed out the possibilities around it, and it may mean that you're looking at other areas. Look around your environment and say, what else can I do? So for instance, there's something a friend of mine started to do. One of the things she did was she wanted to declutter her home because clearly there was waste, right? So she had clothes that she wasn't using. She had a lot of things that she wasn't using. So she brought everything out and she decided to do like a yard sale. What did she now do? She now started to tell her friends that declutter your home as well. I can help you to sell those things. Before you know it, she has created business.
Wow.
Absolutely. From things that people don't need. And she can barely, I mean, some people don't even need a lot of money for those things anyway. So she'll get it from them and then she will trade it. And some of those things are equally really good stuff, right? So what I tell people is, see, look around you. Don't just focus on, oh, this is what I do right now. If you think and think and think and you don't see how you can expand that thing, it's time to look into other areas and start to diversify. If I sell water, what else is complementary to water? You know, that brings me additional income. What do I have? What do I do? Do I know how to make hair? Can I make hair? Can people come to my house? I don't even have to carry, I don't have to have a store. You know, because people are fixated on how much it would take them to start. Start anyhow.
Let me take this call from Oladipo. Good morning, Oladipo. Thanks for calling.
Hello, good morning.
You're live.
How is your day?
Very well.
I always enjoy your program.
Thank you, sir.
God will bless you.
Amen.
Let me tell you something. Here we are wasting. We always waste. We waste resources. It's good that we are learning now. And everybody will buy. We buy what we don't need. Before you can make us in this economy, you must increase your revenue and reduce your expenses. And a lot of problem is woman. Your woman always like something big. Women don't look like her. Well, husband says this is what I can avoid. Woman says this is what I want you to do. And this economy, what you can do is services. Because business has collapsed. You must learn how to give people services. If you give people services, they will patronize you.
Thank you very much. I think we lost that call, but thank you. We got the message.
So my question is, you know, it's tough times. Let's say you're earning just a bit and you're still trying to figure out what other creative ways to make money, which would which will entail some investment, and then you have debts. Which should you deal with first? You have them knocking on your door every day, please, madam, pay me my money. Or do you take the money and put into the business? Which should come first?
It's something that is so practical, and I know that there are some people in that situation right now. Have conversation is what I would say. Everybody knows what is happening. Have conversation. Don't run away. Don't try to avoid paying your debt. Have conversation. Renegotiate your debt. So if you were supposed to pay over a 6-month period, okay, can we extend this thing to 18 months? And commit to what you have committed to. And then go back and do your homework on how you are going to make sure that you meet up with that obligation as it falls. But have conversation. Everybody will be, it's just like during COVID period, where we were all going through the same thing. And everybody, I mean, clearly around the world, you find that people became kinder, you know, because again, it's just the reality of the world, right? Have conversation, negotiate. But more importantly, you need to do beyond what you're doing now in terms of expanding your income source. There are things that take money out of you right now that you can actually do something about so that you save that money. Interestingly, in my home now, we make our own dishwashing liquid. Something that I would just say, go and buy Morning Fresh, go and buy this, go and buy that. I make it now. I learned.
Wow.
I went on YouTube. I learned and I got somebody to, I'm telling you. So my dishwasher, everything, the one in the toilet and everything.
And it will smell amazing.
Oh, yes.
Here,
in fact, I use different fragrances as I like it.
Wow, I have to go learn that.
You know, and in my mind, I was telling my husband, I said, I want to start branding this thing so I can start distributing it to my friends. You know, if I take it seriously, I mean, really, that's business already.
You know, the last caller said something about we're very wasteful, wasting resources. How do we, and what kind of tips can we share on how to reduce waste? You know, here in Nigeria, we turn on the electricity anyhow. My brother used to tell me back there, don't be leaving lights on during the day. In my house, the kids all the TVs are on. You go downstairs, the ACs are on. We had to really call everybody, listen, you cannot. Our last bill a few months ago was over 100,000. Last month, the bill was reduced drastically. My husband said, Morayo, what did you do? The bill has reduced. I said, what did you? I said, first of all, the washing machine, they used to run it like back to back. Everybody, once you put clothes, just dump it. I said, nah, it's just Saturday and Wednesday. Anything that cannot wash within those days, forget it.
Use your hands.
You use your hands. You know, everybody. So I really reduced waste, and now I'm seeing that the numbers are changing. You know, so what can we do also in houses to reduce wastefulness? Because we are very wasteful in this country.
I think first of all is education. Educate everybody in your household, including your children. I'll give you an example. Last Sunday, you know, we finished eating dinner, and my son said, "Oh, mommy, what happened to dessert?"
Yeah.
Am I? Young man.
You have watched TV. You have watched too much cartoon.
No, they normally have this in their house.
Obviously.
I mean, we usually have like parfait. I would do something with Greek yogurt
imagine
and
that.
granola and, you know, dried nuts and stuff. And then we didn't have that. And he was like, Mommy, what happens? I said, young man, we now have salad.
Salad.
No, I mean salad with lettuce, carrot, and cabbage. You are good now. I said, let's infuse healthier options.
I like it.
I'm telling you, healthier options. You know, with your salad, you know, you get a lot more vitamins. I started to school them. I think what is more important is have conversation with the people in your household. Now my kids know how much we pay on their school fees. Before, we didn't used to share that information. Now they know, right? So I said, in case you are in class and for some reason your mind is drifting, you're not paying attention, just know that you're burning your parents' money. You know, so have conversation, because the truth is that these kids actually understand. We think they don't, but they do. See the way you've established that schedule around washing and see how it has just cut down something, you know, drastically. In my house, nobody puts off on lights anymore. Anything from 7 a.m. in the morning, all the lights are off. Because by then,
we have a light police. My daughter, her husband made her the light police. Go around and make sure the lights are turned off. She actually feels responsible for making sure the lights are turned off.
Absolutely. We don't turn on our generator until it is 7 p.m.
So for me, it was, I think I mentioned earlier, I took off lesson.
Oh, yeah,
so
me too.
I took off lesson because I calculated how much I was spending on lesson teaching, and I felt that that's a whole lot. I'll make the sacrifice and sit with them and it will also give us bonding time as a parent to child. So I took out the lesson and we had a conversation. My kids used to like to do basketball and kiniko. So we had a conversation. Do you really want to do this? Are you just going there to go and play and meet friends? Because if that's what you're doing, then it's costing me money to do it. So I know one person convinced me I really want to continue. The other two were like, well, we actually don't really like it. So we were just wasting money. We took that out as well. So it's a case of, like you said, studying your pocket, studying your But there's something I learned that I want to share for free with the audience. That is something I'm doing. I've been brainstorming about it. For whatever product I say, take your product to a new market and create a new product for your existing market. That it's something, and out in practical terms, maybe you are selling clothes. Okay. You are selling shirt and trouser. All your customers have already bought your shirt and trouser. You need to create a new product for them. Then this your shirt and trouser that your customers have already bought. Some other people have not seen your product. So you need to expose your product to a new market. And if you are able to think through that journey and write a list of the new markets you want to approach and how you approach them, then you have found the solution. So for me, it might be, I don't do MCing much, but MCing used to bring in money. So I need to now go back and rebrand my MCing with price and I have my rate card, I'll put it more out there that I can do corporate MC for your inspirational events. You want to do motivational events, you can always call me. So because I know that this can also be a stream of income for me. So, and I'm not tapping into it. So I write that down and I push it outside very well. So
okay, let me go now.
For everyone, old age will come, right? And that's the reality. And with our current earnings now, a lot of people will say, you don't even reach me. How do you want me to save for old age? So what would you advise the average Nigerian who seems to not have enough at this time, but should consider the old age?
Retirement savings.
That's interesting. And the truth is that you can't even forget about that and just live only in the moment, right? Because the tomorrow you were thinking of is already today, right? And we're facing what it is right now. If you had money, if you had reserve that you had built over the years, I think you'll feel the pinch less than somebody that really doesn't have anything to fall back on, right? So what is important is that don't think about shrinking alone. Think about expansion as well. Because I tend to dwell more on the expansion part because the natural thing that an average person will do in this type of economic downturn is to shrink. And that is what a lot of people are preaching. But it's a fair balance that you must have. So in shrinking, I would say cut down your costs, reduce wastage as much as possible, recruit every member of your household to understand that they must, reduce wastage. And, we were saying behind the, during the break, that even your children, start to educate them to understand how to make money. Let them start to have that sort of entrepreneurial mindset, because when they do, they become your crusader in cutting down costs. When you make money and you know how money is made, you will naturally cut down costs. You won't spend anyhow.
An important thing I'd like us to touch on before we wrap up, it concerns our mental, the way we think, the way our exposure. Because many of us here have traveled out of the country and we see how even our counterparts, they don't leave lights on anyhow. They walk most of the time. Some of them don't even own cars. There's public transportation. They manage their resources. They don't buy the kind of flamboyant fashion we do. We just go over there, we wear our fine clothes, go out to visit our friends abroad. They are there with their jeans and T-shirt, and they're fine.
All of us want to be Beyonce,
and we all want to be on, and they are just fine. And we have this mentality that we have to do this thing, we have to look at this certain way. And we have arrived from Lagos, and we are the big girls from Lagos, and they're looking at you like, oh yeah, wow, cool. But they're not even impressed with all your. So how do we change that mindset? Our mindset, especially those of us in Nigeria.
In fact, I think we need to embrace that minimalist mindset. There's no point trying to be like follow the Joneses. What's that thing called? You're trying to be like your neighbor who has 3 cars. You too, you must buy your next car. You have 3 cars. You have a problem, fueling it right now. Exactly. At this point, you have to ask yourself: should we be disposing of one?
Yeah.
Do you see? I mean, people should really just learn to live life, in a way that is not just wasteful. Yeah. I think an average Nigerian, I dare say, is wasteful, whether poor or rich. And I think that it's a mindset thing. Yeah. It's something that we were unconsciously schooled.
Money.
Yes.
It's our money.
We just feel like things will take care of themselves somehow. But even in what we have, we're still wasteful with it. Yeah. Right? And I think that this is going to force a lot of people to start to pay attention to those things. There are a lot of assets that you have right now that you're not even sweating. I mean, I'm a family business advisor. We work with families. Sometimes we're reviewing their assets, and those assets are sitting down, lying fallow. We're talking about what do you do you know, as you plan towards old age? What are you doing with the assets that you have acquired so far? How well are you sweating those assets to make money for you, right? So it's not so much about how much you're putting in on a daily basis in terms of the actual active work. What about your other passive income sources? You've invested, maybe you bought one land somewhere. The land has been there for 5 years, nothing is happening. Give it out to somebody that can farm on it and pay you rent on the land. You know, there's so many things that we can do, right? Our homes, maybe you have a portion of your home that you're not using. Can somebody rent it as warehouse or something and make money?
It's there, doing nothing.
You know, we have assets and you need to really pay attention to be able to see these things. They are there.
You're
Really.
right about this wastefulness.
It's so correct. In fact, we need another show.
I mean, if you think about it, we do have some assets that are just lying down. Followers.
That's how Airbnb became a thing. Because a lot of people had their rooms that were available and they're able to make money from renting it out. I think it's important. We just have to keep on thinking about it and don't see... Morayo asked a very important question. She said the mindset. And, you know, I was saying during the break that I cautioned myself. I had a Monday meeting with my staff and I said, I have been lamenting a lot, which is very unlike me. And I don't like complaining. But every time I've been shouting about fear over and over again. And it is not, you don't want to be in that space. So yes, you acknowledge that there's a tightening of belts, there are challenges, but you must not, if you are in that space where you are meditating on that challenge, you are not going to solve it. And you will remain in that space and you'll be unresourceful. For you to be resourceful, for you to unlock creativity, you must see opportunity. You must say, this challenge is an opportunity for me to make money. How do I make money from this?
Yes.
So that's the mindset we must work on. So yes, you are going to the market, you are saying, pepper is expensive. You feel like, so Lord, how do I make money from this expensive pepper? That way, you're unlocking your creativity.
You also, when you started, you also said something about guarding your heart. And I love that. I grabbed it immediately. So if you're hanging out with people who are just spending in this time and you know you can't keep up, find another group and guard your mental health.
Find another circle. My husband sold our car. He sold just last month. He sold one of the cars. We can't keep doing all this variety of cars. Sell this one. They said, you know, because we needed to adjust our brains. That's the reality. I was telling the ladies earlier that I promised my son that we'll do a vacation this year. I really promised him. But when we look at the numbers, my husband said, Morayo, I don't care which kind of, how many people you report me to. They are not going anywhere. Nowhere. And I reported him to everybody that we could find. They begged my husband. Brown said, look at the numbers, Morayo. It's not possible. If we go, fine, we can afford it. But when we now come out and now start drinking Gary, are you okay? Look at it now. So when he really made me see that, listen, we can plan next year. We're now putting money aside gradually. And those who travel, it's because they planned it. They didn't just wake up and say they want to travel. So you have to really let us put our thinking. So, I mean, it's not easy for anybody. The reality that we must be truthful to yourself. And what you spend. Any final words as we wrap up?
In fact, I think the final word I'm going to leave with everybody is don't wallow in shrinking thinking. Yes. Expand your mind. Because the truth is that there are opportunities and these times are supposed to help us see those opportunities and harness them. And like I said, anybody that is able to solve some of these wicked problems that we're dealing with right now will make a lot of money. I'm telling you, because value flow to people who solve problems. That's just it. So don't just sit wallowing and complaining. In that thing that you are complaining, there are solutions. It's only when you see it that you're able to unlock it. So this time too shall pass and expand your mind so that you can.
So just in case you missed it, she said, don't wallow in the shrinking thinking. Expand your mind. You can't do that. Abiola, I did 2023. All right, have a lovely day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Bye.